Hi, you guys. It's Debbie from My Vagabond Style. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, thanks for stopping in. And I'm really excited today because I'm continuing with my Flipping Out with Friends. And I have invited Biddy Penny. And I know that most of you already know her, but it's always fun to actually get more than one person in the camera range. And so I'm going to bring her in and we're just going to have a little chat and hang out and get to know each other. There she
Hey,
is. Welcome. Thanks for coming
yeah,
over and hanging out with me.
absolutely. I was honored
Oh,
that you asked.
you're very kind. My little channel.
Oh,
So
that's okay.
um, anyway, do you want to tell people like maybe a little bit about you, where you're located, and that kind of thing?
Sure. So I'm in Central Texas. I'm just outside of Austin, and I'm a paper crafter. I've been paper crafting since 2017, but I've always been crafty. So my whole life, I've done ceramics and paintings and just all kinds of different types of art, jewelry making. But I used to do collage just for fun before I ever considered myself a paper crafter. But I started with cards, then junk journals, and then this last year I took on collage on my channel.
Okay, so it was this last year was the first year. 2023 has been your year where you're actually showing your collage work.
Yes.
Aha. And has Marguerite Miller been pretty much the vehicle for that?
Yeah. So I took on the challenge for the first time this year. I have watched Gail Augustinelli do it.
Oh yeah.
And I think, Rachel used to do it over at Roxy Creations. And so they were definitely kind of the introduction for me into Marguerite Miller. I absolutely love her content and her like contribution to our community. And, collage is something I've always enjoyed doing since like high school. It's just fun. And so I decided I would take on the challenge this year, and I did it every week for the first 6 months. And then I gave myself permission to bow out.
Yeah, it is such a commitment, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I was impressed I did it for that long because I'm a very much a free spirit and a wild child. So
Yeah.
um,
I
I was,
wasn't sure how long I would do it either.
yeah. Yeah. But it was funny because as I was preparing to meet with you today and I was grabbing like my collage book that I've worked in this year and some of my cards and stuff that I've done since then, to share, I was like, I really have to get back on board with this. Like, just flipping through the pages and remembering the joy that it brings to do the collage, and how I found, I think, my style through the process. And
Mhm.
I've seen that with like your guest last week, Barbie, on from Nellie and Ruth Designs. Like she really took on the collage, and I think she discovered herself in being like in the abstract and very surreal version of collage. And I love what she's making, and I love that she is just going for it. um,
Right.
and I think that that is the gift of this challenge. So if anyone is like on the fence if they want to do this or not, I think if you are wanting to find some artistic vision, this collage is a great way to do it, this
Oh,
challenge.
I think so too. And I have just, it was really exciting to me that I could use so many of the types of things that I like. I'm going to let me add my camera. Let me see if I can do it this way.
Cool.
But just being able to, oops, sorry, I'm switching them around. Just being able to use some of these images is so fun, and you really do find kind of your thing, you know?
Hmm.
So yeah, let me switch these back. I'll make you big.
And I love the people that I found, like you. You and I found each other through the
Yes.
collage challenge, and that's how I found Barbie at Nellie and Ruth and others. So there's
Right.
also the community that draws you in.
Yeah, you kind of like, oh, that person gets me, you know, like they understand my love for paper or images or whatever it is, this craziness that we call collage. But
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was funny because it was something I was really enjoying, and I was finding my style, and I was loving connecting with others who were in it. But my channel, I think that was the other reason I gave myself permission to stop, because it never really caught on my channel. And I felt like, well, um, I say that I only put out like 3 videos a week, as if that's not enough. And I know
Oh, that's a lot. It's a
a lot,
lot.
right?
You work too, right?
Do what?
You also have a full-time job?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
And
know how to do that.
yeah, and 2 small kids.
That's
So,
good to be known.
I'm a busy lady. So 3 is really kind of my happy space. But with that being said, like, I have so many ideas and so many different things I want to try.
Yeah.
And I want to put out content that, people will enjoy. And although I know I found the crowd on my channel that did enjoy it, overall it just really didn't catch on. And I was like, okay, I've
Yeah.
given it 6 months. I've enjoyed it. And so I think when I revisit it, I'll just make it more for me
Uh-huh.
and share on occasion.
That's great. Yeah. I also noticed like a lot of times I'll put like a watercolor video up, or I'll put a something with junk journals in there. It doesn't do very well for me because my audience more now that I have is there for my collage. So they're like, "Oh, I don't do junk journals."
Mhm. Well, yeah, that is my, that is something I've struggled with on my channel, is that my channel is all about me sharing my journey. And my journey has lots of twists and turns. And I like to do all kinds of things, like
Mhm.
really simple cards where I can make 50, 100, 200 and donate them to a wonderful cause.
Yeah, you do great mass makes.
Yeah, I love to mass make, and I love to mass make for craft fairs and make
Mhm.
fun things that I can sell. And then I love to do intricate work, and I like to do intricate cards or intricate journals, and collage. And so to subscribe to my channel is like punching your ticket for a wild ride, I guess. Because I think that a lot of people, and I know myself too, like, if I turn on Gail Augustinelli, I kind of know what I'm going to get every time. There's that consistency. And
Mhm.
on when people subscribe to my channel, it's a crapshoot, like what you're going to get the next day, the next time I post a video, and
But it's always good. It's always good.
oh, thank
I
you.
loved your faux first day issue stamp thing that you did. Was that yesterday you put that out?
This week, one day this week, I don't remember
Yeah,
what.
it was
Maybe.
really good. I like that a lot.
Yeah, when I open the doors to my craft room, I have to be free. It's like opening the doors and flinging them open to a space that I want to be in, doing something that I want to do. And I have
Mhm.
to freedom in that, because it's my space.
Right, right.
So yeah, yeah.
Do you feel like you have, I know that you probably whenever you have time you get to go into your craft room, but do you feel more productive like in the morning, afternoon, evening? Is there like a time where that's your sweet spot?
5 a.m.
No kidding.
Yeah.
5 a.m. Wow, you and your coffee or what?
Yeah, I don't even drink coffee, but yeah, yeah. So 5 a.m. I wake up for it. I get so excited. I come straight to my
Oh,
craft.
that's awesome. Yeah,
And
I've done that a time or two where I just can't sleep because there's something that I want to work on. So I
mhm.
know that feeling, but I'm not that much of a morning person. So
I am for crafting.
yeah,
So
right.
basically, 5 a.m. I try to be in here probably at least 6 days a week at 5
No
a.m.
kidding.
And I get an hour uninterrupted.
Mhm.
That's all mine. And then the weekends, a lot of times on Saturdays, I try to put in about 4 hours, and
Oh, nice.
that's my crafty week, and that's for
Yeah.
all content and every production and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, because at 6 o'clock, my day starts with my family, and I
Right.
don't get to revisit. So I make time for it first thing in the morning.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Hmm.
So, do you have one of your collages that you can share with us?
I do. I marked a couple. Um, so I think, when I think back on the collage challenge, I think, got to find the camera. Sorry. Something that I discovered was that I really liked finding um, the story and the prompts. So, the prompts can be pretty random, but I liked sitting and contemplating and thinking about how I could find a theme and find a story and
Yes.
share that story. So that
Mm-hmm.
was my kind of hidden spaces story. And the prompts on it were something made from plastic, an advertisement, something from space, a name from your family, and textured paper. And so was the bonus. And so I have these three like shadows, which represented like the women of NASA in this hidden story or hidden figures story. And I had a couple of them in there, and
That's
they're,
great.
snippets about them, and some NASA like flight logs and advertisement there.
I love it.
Also worked in like the names of three family members who are sisters. And I kind of had the collage work as representing their sisterhood, which
Uh-huh.
now when I look back so that was just the 6th week of 2023. And one of the sisters, my husband's aunt, passed away suddenly this summer. And so
Oh,
back now on that collage, and I think about how sweet it was that,
right.
commemorate sisterhood now that one is gone. So, that was one of the things I really discovered that I liked about it. Here's another
Mm-hmm.
one. I just flagged 3, but
Uh-huh.
um, I figured out along the way that I really liked, again, with the story, I liked
Yes.
being a scene. And
Mm-hmm.
I created like this little scene with a paper doll, and, this is
Pictures
his
on the wall and yeah.
ball, little rug, and, his buddy there,
Mm-hmm.
you
That's
know.
so good. Yeah. I love
So
that. Most of mine have a story too. I can't help myself.
yeah, yeah. And I always enjoy hearing your stories when you share your collage. I always like,
Oh.
boy, what's it gonna be? And this is the last one where I made it interactive, which is totally me as well. So it's supposed to be like a tablecloth with flowers, like dried flowers around, and coffee or tea, and then a person's journal. But the journal actually
Oh,
opens
that's so good.
and turns and has pages and dried flowers,
Right.
and ties in the flowers that are scattered along the table, and the pen
Mm-hmm.
here to write in the journal and stuff.
So it's
So
not just a journal, it's the space you created to and the piece when you have it, get to spend time in it, right?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
that's awesome.
So
Go
those were
back to
3
this.
that really kind of stood out as when I felt like I was in my groove and I had found what I enjoyed the most about coming to the prompts and putting them together in my vision and in my own way.
And I noticed that you're really good about like making like if you're like, "Oh, I think I want to add this element. I want to make like that rug." You just make a rug instead of like I would be looking through all my magazines trying to find one. You're like, "Oh no, I'll
Yeah.
just make a rug."
Yeah. 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 And I enjoy that. I enjoy like, I always joke that I'm like the construction worker of the craft room because I like building things, right?
Yes,
So
you do.
I like the construction of paper crafting, really.
Well, and you're pretty good about that. You can draw things like some people like myself are not that great at like just drawing that element. I can't remember what I saw you draw. You whipped something out. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
We had a little camera glitch, so I had to cut this piece in. Sorry about that.
And alongside of doing the challenge every week, of course, I was still making my cards and journals and other things. And I just wanted to show a couple of examples of how I think the collage influenced the other crafts that I do. So,
Oh, okay.
like this card, for
Let me go
example.
back to the one solo layout here. Oop, not that one. This one. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So, yeah, I just think, piecing elements together, building the pieces, bringing in different textures. And, I think that definitely the collage is in my wheelhouse and in my style, whether I'm making it in a book of collage
Uh-huh.
prompts or whether I'm making it into cards, which all of these are 5x7 cards. And so I know that artistically, it really fed me in a lot of ways. And I'm
Oh,
really,
that's great.
yeah, yeah.
Do you have like a go-to place where you like to look for your elements, or just kind of whatever?
I'm a paper lover
Mm-hmm.
through and through, but I don't have a lot of magazines. I kind of refuse to let myself start accumulating
Oh, yeah.
because I already accumulate books for junk journaling and then tons of paper for all of the other things, scrapbook paper and stuff like that. So I kind of don't allow myself
That's
magazines.
very smart, because I can't tell you how many magazines I have now collected.
Yeah, yeah. Well, believe me, I've got enough of everything. But um I also love stamping and I have just a huge collection of stamps. So I did try to bring that into play. And then I love digitals, printables from
Mm-hmm.
and different artists online.
Yeah.
And so I'd also incorporate that. I mean, I'll use anything, stencils, just whatever I can get my hands on and put it on.
Yeah, yeah. I'm always looking. You tend to look at things differently,
Hmm.
um, don't you? Like when you
Oh, yeah.
see things now, it's like, oh, I could use that. Don't throw that out. I was like at someone's house the other day, and they had these beautiful napkins, and I'm like that weird person that like folds up the napkin I used and puts it in my purse for later.
I know everything has potential.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Don't throw that
So
out. Yeah.
I think next year I'm just going to allow myself to just do some of the Marguerite Millers. I do want to continue working on my mixed media um, collages that I have already started. I have like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different journals going with mixed media collages and artwork. So I think that's what the direction I'm going. And do you think your channel's gonna, like, you're gonna keep it in this? Does it evolve? Is it changed a lot since the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I think that was a discussion I actually had on a live the other day with some of the people who were there, and I was just discussing it that it's always going to be morphing and changing because my channels really is based on my journey, and my journey is definitely um, always expanding. I'm very open to lots of different types of art, and but I am a paper crafter through and through, but like
Mhm.
I want to bring in even more fiber arts and start making some fun like embroidery and fiber art pieces. And um in 2024 I have a lot of plans of just using a lot of the things that I already have. I'm going to try to do
Mhm.
an I've kind of been doing a low buy the last 2 years, but I want to cut it back even more and really try to use my stash. And I'm excited about it because in 2024, my kind of theme is going to be, and I'm starting to kind of shift my channel there now, just like my paper playground is kind of how I want people to feel when they come to Bitty Penny is that it is a playground. It,
Mm-hmm.
it's a place to play and explore new things and try new things and combine it all together. I'm definitely mixed media. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. I don't really know what direction. My channel's so small, and I just it, it's not. And the thing is, I don't really want it to be driven by how many views I get.
Right.
I don't really want to feel like I need to be validated by how many views, because I do, not that, I mean, you're always going to look at it. The stats are right there for you to look at, but I really want to do this for myself. It's not a job. It's not a moneymaker. It's just, something that I enjoy. And it's been so fun to meet other people that enjoy doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but when I first started my channel, I used to sell vintage. So I did all kinds of live sales with vintage
I
items.
saw that.
So
Yeah.
talk about how things have changed, right? And
Right.
actually, when I went from doing that to doing this, I was like, this is where I need to be. This is where I want to be. Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
this exact same way. Like, um, I am not driven by, like, so many times I'm going against the grain of my analytics, right? So, like,
yes,
if I was following the analytics that YouTube is suggesting, like, hey, you should make more content like this because this is what your people are watching, but maybe that's not what I want to make. I don't, I don't create for that. I create for me,
right.
and I create to, you know, satisfy the creative inside of me because,
Hmm.
you know, this isn't a money making thing. I don't I don't make money off of YouTube. I definitely spend more than I make.
All right.
And it's for me, I started during the pandemic, and I wanted to connect with paper crafters. I wanted
Hmm.
card makers. I wanted to connect, and so I'm here for that. I love collaborating. When you reached out to me, I was like, absolutely, heck yeah. Oh, I'm so
Right. I've seen you do some. That's why I was like, oh, I bet she'll do it. I bet she will.
absolutely, like, I'm here for that. And the kind of love and encouragement that my friends and subscribers show and engage with me the way that they engage with me, it's an priceless, irreplaceable aspect of my life now. And I was telling my husband the other day, I couldn't imagine just being a girl crafting in my craft room without all my virtual friends anymore.
I
Like,
know, right? And some of them, I'm sure with you, as it has for me, have turned into actual friends,
yes,
which is like such a bonus and a blessing, right?
yeah, I wish I could meet every one of them.
Mhm.
I wish I could meet everyone and hug their neck and spend
Right.
with them. In fact, me and two crafty friends are teaching a live in person class on December 2nd here in Central Texas.
I
And
saw that.
I'm so
I
excited. I
actually
like it.
looked on the map where it was. Can I do this? Can I go? Am I crazy?
Love that.
But it just didn't work out because of the location. It wasn't like close for me to fly in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what a neat thing. Did
Yeah.
you fill it
Yeah.
up?
It's gonna so I think we have a couple of spots left.
Oh,
And
good.
yeah, so we still have a couple of spots, and it's just exciting. We didn't want it to be too big. Like, we want it to be just fun for everyone, and we just want to hang out and be crafty.
Right.
It is. So yeah, that's very exciting. It's just going to be nice to finally get to meet some crafty friends.
Right. I used to do a thing at my house when I was single and invite all my crafty girls friends to bring whatever they were working on. I had this huge table in my back room, and we would all gather around. They would some bring snacks, high calorie snacks, little wine, whatever. And we would sit back there for hours. And it was usually like a Friday or Saturday night when, we didn't have to go to work the next day, and just have a great time. I mean, there's just something about hanging out with your girlfriends and doing stuff like that, right?
Yes. Oh, it's exhilarating. It
Yeah.
fills the bucket.
Yes, for sure. Just a little girl time. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to show one more of mine. Let's see. What
Yeah.
am I going to show? This one was fun. Let me get my camera back in here and go to this one. Here we go.
What size book are you working in?
It's only a 7 by 10.
Okay.
Just
I
a
think
little.
that's what I have. Let me look. I'm going to measure it. I love that one so much.
Thank you.
You use a lot of images from like Popular Mechanics and different places, don't you?
Most of them now, a lot of them I get from a old vintage magazine called Holiday, and it was a vacationers magazine. And I use like 1960, probably 58 to 62 is the ones that I have and really love.
Mm-hmm.
So this one I put all those little stickers on the suitcase, and yeah, so that was fun. Something that starts with an H, a travel item, ribbon, something messy, and something with stripes. So the messy was that background.
I love
Yeah. So anyway, that one was fun.
Yeah. I always love a poodle.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I just always love a poodle. Yeah. See, I definitely like the magazine images. Like
Mhm.
they add something, very distinctive, I think, and nostalgic
Yeah,
that,
right. At a time when things were easier, and and we didn't know any better.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Um, but what was I going to say about that holiday magazine? Yeah, I got them on eBay for a decent price. I think somebody didn't realize what they had. I love finding a good deal.
Yeah. My mother and I actually just went to the Austin Restore. It's a craft store here in Austin where everything is secondhand. So
Oh,
and donates, and they sell things at such a reasonable price.
oh, that's great.
So I went and got trims and lace and some really old, not, I mean, they're not really old, but like old wood mounted stamps today, um, that are just in kind of like an old country style. And I've been falling in love with it a little bit. And at those, they're like $1 each there,
Oh
for,
my gosh.
oh, it's incredible. You have to be very disciplined. I have to already say you're tripping over stuff in your craft room as it is. You really don't need
Yeah, I have no business being there.
exactly, exactly. So, and my mother, she crochets and knits and stuff like that. So she always likes to go and find different things. And so, yeah, we went there today. I love finding a good deal. I love repurposing things and
Hmm.
things a second life. Or, when I find, like, I was given this bag of fabric and I could tell it came from someone's scraps. And, you know, I felt so honored that I was given this bag of scraps because I was like, somebody else really valued these and that's why they kept them around. And
Yeah.
now they're landing in my hands of someone else who's going to value them and not just like discard them or think, oh, those are little scraps. I can't do anything with it. Instead, I'm like, junk turtles.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I keep all kinds of stuff. When I was quilting, I have the little quilting scraps, and I've actually gotten some like old vintage quilt squares that people had worked on and never finished the quilt. So I still have them. I'm like, I'm gonna do something with them someday. I
Yeah,
called 2023 the year of cracking the hoard, but I just made a little crack. It wasn't a big crack.
it's
I just wanted to use some of the stuff I have.
That's what I'm doing in 2024. Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. Thank you. I need it. I was teasing the other day. I need like a lion tamer to come and keep me in shape
Yeah, right.
when it comes to not buying crafty things.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And it's been fun getting to know you. And we need to chat more.
Absolutely. I hope I wasn't too far off subject with
Oh,
every
no, not at all.
wonderful hanging out with you.
You
And I'm
too.
so glad we met through the Marguerite Miller Challenge.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, I will talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Debbie. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye.